Tell us about how you found out about this place.
Well, I was, during a snowy day in the winter, I was walking up to the bar next door to have lunch and a few beers, and I just happened to see the sign. So I peeked in the window, and Chuck saw me peek through the window. He opened the door and invited me in, showed me around, and I joined right there on the spot.
Now, that's, of course, you were really looking for fitness at that time in your life. Something was going on. But then after you join any place, after a couple of weeks, you get a feel for like, this was a good decision. Tell us how that worked out for you.
Well, it was a good decision. I let myself, after I had my hip replaced, I let myself go. I gained 35 pounds, 40 pounds, and it just got to the point I had to do something. So HappyLee was close by. I liked the equipment. I liked Chuck. And so I started coming on a regular basis.
How often were you working out?
I was working out, at first I was working out 4 or 5 days a week.
And how was that making you feel after a couple of weeks of some guided instruction?
Well, I was starting to feel better. I could, the exercises I was doing, I was increasing my weights, the cardio work I was, getting stronger at, and I was able to go longer. At first I couldn't do the elliptical for 5 minutes, and now I go on it for 45, 50 minutes just to get warmed up.
Wow. And then what happened for you, Richard, is that you first started just with the fitness, but then you wanted to focus on the weight loss. And you came over to InShape MD and started working with Lee and her team on weight loss. Tell us about that experience.
I had been working out, and my goal was to try to lose some weight, but I wasn't losing any weight. And I kept asking Chuck, I kept picking his brain about next door, about the InShape MD. And finally he said, well, why don't you just go talk to Lee at a free consultation. And at this point I really wanted to lose weight, so I went over and had a free consultation, and I liked what I heard, so I signed up.
Everybody takes an 8-week program in InShape MD. How did that first 8 weeks work for you?
The first 4 weeks, it wasn't easy, but because of the weekly meetings and seeing Chuck over in the gym and getting encouragement and pats on the back, I decided I was going to stick with it, and I stuck with it. And I lost 30 pounds in the first 4 weeks.
30 pounds is a lot of weight.
And I was pretty happy about that. So they said you really weren't going to lose a lot of weight the second 4 weeks, but I hung in there, and the second 4 weeks I lost 20 more.
So what is your total weight loss since you started with InShape MD?
I lost 50 pounds, and I have put 5 back on, so I've kept 45 off.
And how long?
Oh, year and a half.
18 months. That's pretty
Something
impressive.
like
And you're still working out, and you're still following a lot of the nutritional advice that you got at InShape MD.
The 80-20 rule.
And what is that?
80% of the time you behave yourself, and 20% of the time you just go for it.
Name one thing that you picked up from InShape MD that you think you still pay attention to outside of the 80-20.
Carbs, for one thing.
Yeah, what do you mean?
I watch my carbs. I watch my sweets. I don't eat, pretty much I cut out sweets, and I've probably cut 50 to 70% of the carbs out of my diet.
Would you recommend InShape MD to someone else who is struggling with their weight?
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Have you recommended somebody for this program?
I have.
Yeah. You're still continuing to work with HappyLee on a regular basis. What is that like now 18 months later? Has your program changed? Are you stronger? Are you able to do things now that you couldn't do a year and a half ago?
Oh, it's great. I started, some of the things the doctor told me, after my hip surgery I could never water ski again. I water skied all my life competitively, and I finally said heck with it, and I started skiing again. I went out and I had gotten rid of my surfboard. I went out and bought another surfboard and started surfing again. And this is stuff that I've figured I'd probably, since I'm in my 60s now, I'd never be able to do again.
So would you say that InShape MD and HappyLee combined have changed your life?
Oh, definitely. Definitely.
Very good. Well, we really appreciate you coming in, Richard. Thank you so much for your time.
Sure. My pleasure.